Hi, I'm Glenn Davenport. I'm ready to answer question number 5 in this lesson called Untangled End Time Events. Question is, how will the Antichrist take control? I want to read to you from Daniel chapter 11, verses 20 through 21. Then shall stand up in his estate a raiser of taxes in the glory of the kingdom, but within few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. But he shall come in peaceably, and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. And we start talking about how the Antichrist can take control. It seems to me that it's going to be an easy thing because of who he is and what he does and how he does it. It's not going to be the conclusion of a war. Sometimes it seems that when the world has an awful thing to happen, some kind of catastrophe, that people can get worried and start thinking and asking questions. Is this the end of the world? Like at the World Trade Center when that happened. Is this the end of the world? There's not going to be any big war that starts this. Antichrist is going to come in peaceably. I think we've heard or seen some good things happening in the news recently, how that these couple of nations had joined peacefully with the nation of Israel and with the United States, and how they signed a peace treaty of some sort with this country. And we have thoughts that other nations will join and all come in peacefully, and that's how I think it'll happen. And sometime they'll sign a peace treaty, and somebody in that crowd is going to have some kind of ulterior motive. They're going to do it for different reasons, maybe with hopes of taking over Israel, and that's called a Trojan horse. They come in for a different reason. But when we think about the Antichrist coming in, I'd like to say that there's a vast difference between simple hard times and the tribulation time. Some people would think that we're in tribulation now. I am confident that there are parts of the world that are suffering greatly from hunger and maybe lack of medical attention and all of that. In the United States, we are wonderfully blessed. We can have almost any kind of treatment that we want and affordable conditions with the help of our government. Hard times can come from just losing a job or getting sick or any number of reasons when you're down and out. It's just hard times. But when we talk about tribulation, we're talking about the tribulation, a 7-year period that's been talked about from Daniel even further back than that. I know that Moses spoke of tribulation in the latter days, so it's been talked about for a long, long time. But hard times can be described under any number of terms and for any duration. But the tribulation is a single 7-year period when the whole world will suffer under the powers of the Antichrist. This one individual, known as the beast, will not have the religious position nor the political clout to do what he is destined to do until the Jews give him the keys to the city of Jerusalem, and the contract to build the temple on Mount Zion. We read from Matthew chapter 24, verses 32 to 36. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Now, what is the parable? Forget about the old idea that this has to do with Israel becoming a nation in 1948. That is too long gone. That's not the idea. That idea has caused enough confusion. The parable needs to be interpreted under signs of the oncoming tribulation. When you see or hear of the consummation of the covenant spoken of earlier, then you'll know summer is nigh, the end is near. When it actually happens on or near the Passover, we are to understand the revelation of the Antichrist is 1,260 days away. The generation that witnesses the signing of the covenant will not pass away before these things come to pass. So we're going to talk about the revelation of the Antichrist. We have all of these reasons buzzing in our head on what to think and what to expect. I want you to know that I call it a peace treaty. It's a covenant based on what Daniel said, a covenant. Then it's going to be signed, but the revelation of the Antichrist is going to come on the day of Yom Kippur. So I'm going to explain that to you and hope that it makes sense. Here's some things to look for. It is no new thing to hear of trouble and unrest in Jerusalem and in the Middle East, but the day is coming when the Jews will desire peace more than anything else in the world. Embedded within the desire for peace is the longing for a place to worship, similar to what they had under the Old Testament days. Anybody who would know of the days of Solomon and how sweet the fellowship was and how in harmony and in tune the nation of Israel was, they would desire that. Everything was great. So this provides a setting where the Jews will give up their city in hopes of having a temple. That's awful to say, because it really grabs at their heart. The Jews want that city of Jerusalem more than anything else in the world today. They have said they will never ever give it up. Well, it seems like that they will. A contract will be finalized on or near Passover, in the year known only to God. No way of knowing. The Bible gives us no hints, as far as I know, as to what year this will take place. But the Jews will be enabled to build their temple, complete with altars and the Holy of Holies, in the very same place where it once stood and in the exact same spot where the Dome of the Rock stands today. They will be permitted by the Antichrist to make offerings and even oblations, and to feel wonderfully blessed, but that won't last very long.